this is the line that you were talking about, this one, and it comes off, does the squiggle under the AC line, comes back over, and then runs right into the dash right here. That's my map sensor, I think that's it. This idle air control valve, this IAC, is new. I replaced it last year. But you see, the thing is like, it'll carry high idle. See, it's holding it up. Unplug it, goes right down. So now it'll decelerate faster. So I don't know what the issue is. So like, I took it out for a spin, and even after you're braking or slowing down or something like that, it'll pick up like 300 to 500 RPM at a stoplight with no throttle input, with the clutch pushed in and riding the brakes. It'll gain RPM once you get to a stop, then it'll drop down to idle. But with this unplugged, it's got the right deceleration. See, I mean, it's a little slow coming down, but that's what I think should be acceptable. But when you plug this thing back in, see, it holds it. It just holds it at that higher idle, and I have no idea why. That's new though. That thing's brand new. It should be open and closing properly. I don't understand it. I mean, that's brand new. When I put it on, I was concerned about the throttle blade in here, because it runs across, and you leave this little flat screwdriver blade thickness here. And whenever you take these two bolts out for the TPS, you have to rotate the sensor up and then down, and then put the two bolts in. And I didn't know if I had messed up the orientation, if it was supposed to be down and then in, or up and then in, like how you install that. I didn't know if that made a difference. I hope I didn't just trash it when I put it all on there, but when I unplugged it, it gained RPM. So it is receiving some sort of signal input. Maybe I've got something mixed up somewhere, I don't know. Maybe I could try pinching this off. You know, here, we'll unplug that. Oh no, that's bad. No, don't do that. It runs really bad if you do that. So the map sensor is working then. And I was thinking about replacing down here, which I think was the intake temperature sensor. I mean, when I pulled the intake plenum off, it was full of oil and a bunch of schmoo. But, I mean, and that sensor itself was covered in nasty schmoo, so I'd imagine it's not reading correctly now regardless. So I'm just trying to eliminate problems, and if that sensor's another 10 bucks or whatever, that's not a big deal. We'll just order the thing. But like, that's my PCV valve right there. It has that second hose that I was talking about. I just shoved a hose over the end of the screw in it. And then over here is the rest of my vacuum contraption, which this is the other side of that. Here, let's get a light on that. But that's the other side, and the one on the left goes to my fuel pressure regulator. The other two are just plugged off, and then this one goes over to the brake booster, which that brake booster is newer. I'm the one that painted it black. And so is the master cylinder, it's new too. And all the lines are new, well, most of them. So I don't know, and the rear wheel cylinders are new. I think my front calipers are still factory though, but I mean, so I don't know, I must have done something to help vacuum pressure, because the thing actually stops now. It wouldn't before. I mean, it was like really squishy. It was pretty bad. But yeah, now it'll hold a high idle. When you roll up to a stop sign, it'll gain RPM and it'll just like stick. And then if you give it a minute, it'll drop back down to like 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 RPM, and it'll like hold itself there. But when you unplug the idle air control, then it comes down like it's supposed to. So I'm not sure what the problem is, but that idle air control valve is not even a year old. I replaced it last year. So I'm not sure what the issue is, like last summer sometime, beginning of summer. So I don't know. I mean, it does run way better than it did before though. Oh, yeah, see? Holding it, yep, there. Unplug it and it just stops. I don't know. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. Do I have something on upside down? I don't know. I don't think so. I put it on the same way the old one came off.